Welcome to the ITM podcast.
This is episode 341 of the ITM podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the 2026 Winter Olympics. My name is Joey Copponi, that is Scott Neville, and the Boston Red Sox are in Fort Myers right now, baby. Scott, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. I wrote on my notes here, because I script every word of this show word for word, including this part. I wrote, Scott, who you doing? Which is kind of funny, but inappropriate. So we'll leave that there.
Yeah.
We're the official show of the Olympics. So the official Red Sox show of the Olympics. Yeah. Let's start here. Everything feels right in the world a little bit, my friend. The fellas are at the fort. The best videos of the year are out. I don't care how many times I hear it or how old I get. How many of these days go by in my lifetime? I will always love those first pop of the mitt videos, the first crack of the bat videos. They will always get me.
You know, I had a weird one where I had MLB Network on, and then I just turned it on. That was the channel that popped up, and they were showing for some reason a Red Sox Phillies game where the Red Sox were down like 4-0 in the fourth. Lucas Giolito pitching, but I was like surprised by baseball, and I was like, oh man, like I really like watching this. I forgot. It's been a while. Like I forgot. I made this my entire career. I like this game so much.
It is really, really healthy that we take the break that we do. And by that, I mean, we only commit, I don't know, multiple hours a week still to just talking about the game when it's not happening. But that's a break versus how it is in every other month of the year, because it is nice to just remember, like, oh, shit, yeah, like once the games happen and once the guys are out there, this is no longer a hypothetical, imaginary mathematical chessboard that we are assembling pieces onto. It's human beings who get out there and play the game that we like to watch. And it, for a moment, there's every single year right around now, dude, there's a moment where it's like, oh, this isn't just like the games happen and we analyze the games and we whatever. I remind myself, oh, that's the fun part. The fun part is when the games happen. Now, speaking of the fun part, we missed a really fun part of the offseason just about a week ago. It happened while
6 seconds.
I was typing the description of the last episode. Some news broke and we were like, do we hop back on? Do we record tomorrow? Or do we just act like this didn't happen and let it marinate for a week and see how people feel about the IKF signing then? And we've done that. But the Red Sox signed Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to a 1-year, $6 million deal with another $500,000 in incentives in what has got to be the strangest allocation of money in quite some time that this team has done. The series of dominoes, Scott, that had to fall to go from Bregman and Alonso to goddamn IKF is fucking insane. But here we are.
And Wilson Contreras.
And Wilson Contreras. Sure. And to make room for him.
It's a Contreras Durbin, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, as far as like
for a moment,
as far as free agents go,
it is
free agent infielders. It was supposed to be Bregman, Alonso, and it has become Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And in order to make room for him, putting Tanner Houck on the 60-day, who is saying that he hopes to pitch by September. Now, Scott, I hate every single word that I just said for the last 45 seconds there. So can you just say something else?
Well, the thing about IKF is he's going to be a fan favorite. And he shouted out Brock Holt and Kike and a couple other guys. He said he's going for that Gold Glove. So, yeah, I think he's a team player now. Man, he's kind of one of those guys that you hear about and you go, I don't really want this guy because he's not good at baseball. But then you like hear him talk and you're like, I could root for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I've heard about him is that he's also a big clubhouse guy, and those guys always excel in Boston. And with losing Ref Snyder, I think the fans and the clubhouse did kind of need that kind of guy. It feels like IKF kind of will be the Rob Ref Snyder kind of guy. Don't know why you don't just have Rob Ref Snyder, though, in terms of offensive production. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's good on the field, too.
Yeah, the thing I guess that you could argue is that, infield defense is what they're after. And they're apparently really high on IKF's infield defense. We shall see. We shall see. It takes, in my mind, it takes a Gold Glover to come here and have good infield defense. Whereas, if you're a middling reliever, you can come here and have a hell of a second stint of your career. If you are a catcher who the New York Yankees have overlooked, you can come here and just get a second wind and be great. But if you are anything short of a Gold Glove infielder, you're not going to get better coming to Boston. So I don't know. We shall see. But implementing the old Brock Holt move is kind of exactly how you get the fans on your side. You talk about Brock Holt, I guess Kike too falls into that category. That's how you get the people on your side. And there's one other guy who you can pull besides the Manny Papi thing. Every Latin player just has to say, man, I grew up watching Manny and Papi, and yeah, I was always a Red Sox fan a little bit. And then you kind of just have to nod and agree and be like, yeah, I bet. Like, you could just be lying to our face. We have no idea. But if you're an undersized infielder, you just shout out Petey, and it works every time, as it did this week. After the Boston Red Sox, Scott, have added their big bat.
We got
the infielder they needed. They got him. Caleb Durbin. Durbin Feldman. Dalton Furbush is back. Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monasterio, Anthony Siegler, and a comp pick.
Who could that be? I said, who could that be?
That could be anyone.
That's exciting.
In exchange for Kyle Harrison, David Hamilton, and Shane Drohan. That happened Monday this week. This is a weird one for a bunch of reasons. And I think, honestly, I think there's a case to be made for either side of the fence on this one. My initial reaction, admittedly, was being upset about just seeing another piece of the Devers tree sent away, because we spent last episode talking quite a bit about Jordan Hicks. And did I want Jordan Hicks on this baseball team? No. But dumping not even all of his salary, pretty stupid, especially actually, if I'm going to be like a real asshole here, to then dump that money and then spend that money on IKF. Also equally as moronic. But that was my first reaction, is like, wow, Kyle Harrison's gone too. And it signals to me that they never felt confident in the pieces that they got back for Devers at all, in any of them. Like, you knew that Jordan Hicks was kind of a salary dump from the beginning, I guess. It was clear that at least a portion of the reason that he was included was because he was overpaid. He was never going to live up to his contract. The Sox might have seen something in him, though. And Kyle Harrison was kind of touted as one of the guys who I think you called him a sleeper pick last week. A guy who had a high ceiling, as was Tibbs. Guys who you believed in and chose and traded for so as to nurture and see their ceiling. Not the case. They were just married to literally none of the guys they got in return, which honestly just kind of makes the deal look worse. They were just after getting a return rather than waiting till a time where you could maximize the return. You got a return that you planned or didn't plan to flip for somebody else again. The deal itself comes with its own set of question marks, and the idea to trade for a rookie infielder that's kind of going to be competing with Marcelo Meyer. But Scott, I'd rather hear your thoughts than mine.
First of all, that's very smart of you, because my takes are going to be better. But Jose Bayo, first of all, a lot of disrespect there. You just threw in, like, we still got a guy in that trade. Maybe he was the centerpiece all along. He wasn't. But, yeah, I mean, I think my first reaction was kind of before I even saw who we got, seeing the trade package, who we sent out. Because I was actually I saw this trade probably 30 minutes after it happened. I was very late to this. I was relieved to not see any.
That's why.
Yeah. It was. I was relieved to see the names that went and not be like upset, because I was very worried. You know, there's been this. We knew this trade was going to come in some form. They were going to trade for a right-handed infield bat at some point, and a lot of the talk involved Duran, Bayo, Early, Tolley. There was a huge opportunity to mess this up. As we found out after, it would have cost Meyer and Tolley to get Ketel Marte. That would have been crazy. That would have been massive, right? So that was my first reaction, was like, okay, like, I'm okay with, like, they didn't get worse with the players they lost. Kyle Harrison, I think they will make into a machine in Milwaukee, but realistically, he was like our 9th starter. So, like, am I going to be mad in July when Cooper Criswell is pitching and, he has a 2.6, Kyle Harrison has a 2.6 ERA? Maybe a little, but yeah, I think that was my biggest takeaway. And then with Durbin, he's probably the best player in the deal. I would say I think he's the most valuable player in the deal. I like that you got, I have always talked about with Breslow, I've wanted him to add core pieces with control, and he keeps adding 36-year-olds. This is a guy with 5 years left, so can be a core piece if we want him to. As far as what you're getting right now, 0 outs above average, 101 OPS plus.
Yeah.
He's fine. Now, admittedly, he was much better at third than second. He had a 5 defensive runs saved or something. Everyone was talking about that. But right at, when you look at the whole last year, the most middling guy you could get, that's not the worst thing in the world when we were talking about, David Hamilton getting significant playing time, a week ago, or IKF getting significant playing time. So, I don't know. He'll be, and everyone's gonna like him because he's kind of gonna have a little bit of a Pedroia swagger, just because he's short and cares a lot, and
because he made the comparison himself. He was like, "Hey, I liked Pedroia. Wink, wink. Do I remind you of him at all? Wink, wink." Which is
he's shorter,
work, obviously. Yeah. So it was kind of inevitable.
Nothing wrong with that. He's still tall. He's still tall.
You ever hear that song? Short people got no reason to live, or whatever. Is that how it goes? No reason.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Living or something.
He's 5'7". He's not short, so
that's tiny.
No, for a guy, you got to be under 5 feet to be short. So he's fine. I'm not saying he's tall.
In some cultures, 5'7" is massive.
In some decades, centuries, even.
If he was in 1700s Taiwan, dude, he'd be a monster.
Well, he'd be tall.
He'd be tall.
Ish.
Anyway, so I'd say my general feeling on the deal. If I had to wrap it up, two major reactions. The first, very weird how many people were like, "See ya, David Hamilton, get the fuck off my team." What? He's David Hamilton.
I think they just associate him with a bad era in baseball. I think he's just one of those guys that are like, dude, we had David Hamilton as a starting second baseman for 10 games at a time. But it's
Those people are right that he never should have been in that position. He never was a starting MLB player. I think I said it on Twitter, David Hamilton is an awesome piece to have on a team that doesn't need him. On a team where he's a luxury, he's awesome. Imagine the Red Sox being like a team that's regularly competing for the AL, like the Astros of a few years ago. I guess it's more than a few years ago now. The Astros of a decade ago. We're just regularly making it to the ALCS, and you have this dude on your bench who's just your pinch runner. That's awesome. You're Dave Roberts, basically.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Also, let's not forget about that 1 week they had where they stole 9 bases against the Yankees in one game, and then they had that thing where they were like the running Red Sox, and it was like, it was cool. It was like him, Duran, and Rafaela, and like that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a whole episode of the doc. They didn't have much to talk about at all that year.
They made the coolest Zach Kelly, David Hamilton highlight reel you could ever make.
It is so fun. Netflix must have been so mad, man. Looking back, it's crazy that was the season.
That is just like the only time they just started. They did the coolest thing they did in the entire doc. They had actually topical Tite Mi Pregunta that was playing in the stadium, and they showed coaches talking about it, and then they cut to like actually using the sound, like not just from the stadium, and they were just showing them steal left and right, and then it goes into Zach Kelly shutting the door. It was the coolest part of the doc, and they just chose to use it in just a regular season game against the Yankees where they stole like 9 bases, and then Zach Kelly had a sick, like you gotta have like a bases loaded jam.
It's so funny. I would love to see the viewership of that doc like over the course of the months. Like when it came out, it was like probably, I'm sure, top 10 on Netflix. And since then, I can't imagine it's left the bottom 20 things that are watched on there. Like, why would you go back and watch it now?
Yeah, you're not watching like a historic like an 04 doc you can go back to. There's no reason to go back to that year. Ever.
And like nobody's stumbling on it that's not a Red Sox fan a year and a half later and being like, I guess.
Dude, we shouldn't say that. That was our Netflix debut, and we're just trashing all over it.
We are on Netflix. I always forget that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on Netflix. That's kind of cool, I guess.
We're on Netflix. My dad was on Netflix before me.
Really? For that crime?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's not a good way to word that.
Oh, for that atrocity he committed?
Yeah. It was one of the biggest crimes in the history of Boston.
Yeah. Wasn't it the art heist?
Yeah.
It actually was.
My dad.
Yeah, your dad.
That was my dad.
On Netflix.
That was my dad.
For the art heist, yeah.
Yep.
That was your dad. I like just leaving it like that. The art heist, dude. That was my dad.
Yeah. They still haven't caught him.
Yeah. God, that's awesome. My other general takeaway from the trade is, this is a far cry from the offseason I expected, but I don't hate the move. I don't hate the move.
That's all very correct. It's not a bad move, but boy, oh boy, did we go into this offseason. Wow, were we off as a fan base?
The words that I wrote down here really sum up how I feel about it. Were I'm not mad. They're just operating on a different gear than I was hoping they would, which is kind of the motto for the whole decade. It's like not mad. It's just I guess there are times
you've been mad.
Yeah,
you've been mad for most of it. I would say.
Yeah, they're just operating on a different gear than I was hoping they would.
It's not their fault that Craig Breslow is operating on a different frequency than you.
Dude, can we talk about a Craig quote real quick?
Fine.
Dude.
Only because it's like that's the whole like show thing that we do.
It's
so like our niche.
Yeah, only because this is what we're actually doing right now. We sat down and I told you we would talk about that Craig thing after that trade. Man. So Craig did media availability, which I told myself, like, don't watch because there's nothing to gain. There's nothing to gain, Joe. You're just going to get yourself mad and worked up over something that you can't control. And doesn't really matter.
Is this? Oh, wait, no, this was Cora. I was going to say, is this about Cora saying it was Crochet's opening day and you want to at least see it play out a little bit? It's kind of stupid to like. He didn't even have to fight for it for spring training. You got to earn your spot on my team, but I guess not.
I know that's how you feel. You hate Crochet. That's why
Well,
I picked him
no.
for Team Cy Young last year, and you picked Durbin Feldman or whatever.
Nope. You pick Walker Bueller. I pick Eric Crochet because I have a brain, and you didn't in that moment.
Remember that.
No. I'm just saying on my team, you'd have to earn that spot, and I would be using strictly 2026 spring training stats for that.
Well, give us a team, and we'll see. Give each of us a team, and we'll see who wins. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Same division? Oh man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll take the Blue Jays.
We should do that. You're putting me in a bad spot.
Yep. So Craig was asked in his media availability because I did go and watch the clips, even though I told myself I shouldn't. I did go and watch. He was asked, quote, "Is the team better now than it was at the beginning of last year?" To which Craig said, I mean, I don't know what we really get out of trying to compare a roster before we've played a game with one that finished a season. We're trying to build as competitive a roster as we can, and I think there's a lot of things that go into that. I think we're going to pitch really well. I think we've improved the infield defense, a lot of offensive upside. But to talk about it at this point, I'm not sure it does a lot of good. We're going to get evaluated on how we perform, and we understand that. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to say. I don't like the way it's so dismissive. I don't like well, I don't know what we're really going to get out of that. Like, what is the point in really, hey, the past is the past and we can't change that. And hey, hindsight's 2020. If you want to focus on the past, go live in the past. Nobody's there, Hey, I'm just here trying to build the best roster that we can. So let's not focus on, before about how I fumbled the superstars on the team. Let's just focus on right now. Our infield defense got better. We got IKF. Did you see we got IKF? I understand what he's saying to be like, hey, like, you can't compare. We haven't played a game yet. You got to see us out there. But say it. Say that like that, you chat GPT lizard. Just say that. Say, you know what? We're going to play some games and we'll see how we compare. But I like our shot. I like our guys. And I like what we did. Do we have Alex Bregman here anymore? No. I know that the star power that the fans wanted isn't here. I know that. I like our guys. And we built this team specifically because we blah, blah, blah. Make me believe, man. Make me believe. Don't just sit there and say, well, what's comparing really going to do? I'll tell you what it's going to do, Craig. It's going to point out how you fucked up. That's what we're talking about. We're here writing articles about how you haven't done a great job. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to further the narrative that you're not doing a great job to put the team in a better position. That's what focusing and comparing is going to do.
Agreed. I really don't have a ton to add to that. I think it's not what you expected to get when he came out being like, I'm not just a nerd, like I played this game. And he's like the most unrelatable person that's ever played the game now. Like he's equally as unrelatable as Heim, but he played, which is like worse.
He's like way less relatable than Heim. Like he makes Heim look like a person. Cause like you met Heim, right?
No.
Well, Heim was like a dude. Like it was like, well, when he's in front of a camera and when he's in front of a mic, he's a little stiff and he's a little whatever, but you talk to him. He's just like, what's up, man? New hat? That's cool. Did you get that here? Oh, nice. Right on. Yeah, no, hoping for a nice day today. Yeah. Some cloud cover. Should be nice. I'll see you around. Like, just a normal guy. Craig, like, doesn't talk to anybody. And the people who do talk to him are like, he's awkward and doesn't want to talk to you. And, like, he will put his head down and pretend he doesn't see you. Like, and it's very strange. And nothing leaks. And people who were important parts of this organization and had a voice no longer have that voice. It is a very small inner circle in a very small back room making all the decisions. And I have not been shy that I don't like the way that he runs the organization. I don't like that he is the face. If he is able to nerd his way into making the team successful, that's all that I really give a shit about. But until he does that, he's just an insufferable nerd who's making the team worse. And like, why would I like that? Or why would I put faith in that? Or why would I Be like, well, where is he really messed up? Where's he done good? If he was like a cool, fun guy that I had faith in and that I thought would be a good businessman to work with other GMs, I would put some faith in and have some good faith till he did the good thing. What about Craig makes you believe that that's going to happen? I don't see it. I don't like the, whatever. Fuck it. Fuck him. Can I say that? Is that way too much? I don't know. I don't like it.
It's our show. Who cares?
Yeah, fuck it. Speaking of Craig Breslow, I almost said Craig Kimbrell. Can you imagine if he was the GM?
We like relievers, but he didn't go to Yale.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't go to college, and if he did, it was in the South. Which
means he didn't go to college.
Sorry, anybody.
No, he definitely
on this show, but we do look down on you guys. It's kind of the nature of living up here.
We have a high download rate in Chicago, which is not what you were saying. But when you said the Mason-Dixon line, just made me think about. I'm pretty sure Chicago is somehow bigger than Boston in our stats.
I don't know what that is. There's a lot of transplants from Boston that go all over. People leave here because it's way too damn expensive. And also, just to be clear, I know that a lot of people listen down south. I said that knowing that a lot of people listen down south. So we appreciate you guys.
178 views from Atlanta, Georgia in the last 30 days. You guys are idiots.
Yeah, get them. Get them.
Hey, we all think you're stupid because we were born above you.
Boom. I dropped out of college twice. I dropped out of film school twice.
In New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, guys, not that we're not gonna say this in front of Joey, but Massachusetts also views New Hampshire similarly. But like New Hampshire to you guys, there's another gap. You know what I mean?
What the fuck was that?
What?
I thought we were on like the same kind of team there, and then you just.
Well, you go to New Hampshire, which is basically the South.
Everybody give it up for New Hampshire. See? I stopped really abruptly. Stop. They stopped clapping.
They were locked in.
Oh, my God. So they're putting Christian Campbell in the outfield, I guess, somehow. They're working him out primarily as an outfielder, and they're getting him some work at third and at second. The last time he played third, I think Milliken pointed this out. Might have been Gordo. One of them pointed out he played 5 games at third base in 24, and then nothing last year. And now they're like, that's where you play if you want to play Major League Baseball. I guess not really. They're starting him out as an outfielder, and then a little bit of this third base and second base work. Where do you start here? The simple way to look at this, Scott, is they are either trading an outfielder or he will never play here again. There is quite literally no path to the big leagues for him if they make him an outfielder, which obviously sucks, but it sucks for him, obviously, but I think it sucks a lot more in terms of just confidence in the organization because they've had absolutely no plan for him whatsoever. I mean, last year they felt so confident in him, they were willing to put him on the opening day roster
and extend
him. For him to be the first of the big 3 into the big leagues, and now 1 calendar year later, they have no fucking clue where to play him. They have no clue where to play him to the extent that their best bet is to make him the 7th or 8th outfielder. I mean,
well, here's the thing. I think what you're saying about no path, I think you're at the time of year where it's easy to forget how bad 162 game seasons are, which are way more than that because all of spring training. I mean, we lost Corbin Carroll, Francisco Lindor, and who was the other? We lost 3. We had 3 hamate bones. We lost. Jackson Holiday today. Just not even in game action, just BP. The Blue Jays, in a literal 2-minute span, lost 3 players. So that's why I'm like, again, I've been chanting about depth. At some point, we could look at this and be like, Christian Campbell would need something drastic to happen to break in. And then like 2 weeks later, we could be like, a couple hamstrings, and here you go. Now you're a starting left fielder. So I don't know. He'll be up at some point. And the fact that he's doing personalized drills at second and third means that like he could be an emergency option there. They did just add depth in the Brewers trade there. But I don't know. I think if he hits, we'll see him. And if he can play like moderately okay at defense, I do agree there is a logjam, but I also think that it's not inconceivable for 2-3 guys to get injured at one position group pretty quickly.
But I mean, that's also saying like, okay, yeah, he could come up here and play for 25 games.
Yeah,
that just was never the expectation for him. A couple guys could get hurt and he could play 20, 30 games. He could fill in for 2 months maybe.
Yeah,
it's just never the expectation of like what he was
certainly
supposed
not.
To be. So that just sucks. And these are the stories that you're supposed to read about another team having. And you're supposed to look at and be like, oh man, they have no idea how to run this organization. That poor guy, he's stuck in Pittsburgh or wherever. Like that sucks for that dude being stuck there. And it just stinks that it's here. I mean, it's happening in the background while like other cooler shit is going on. Like there are better stories going on here. Like, don't get me wrong. There's stuff
better that than them being like, we're just gonna roll out Christian Campbell, and if he gets hurt, it's gonna be AA guys.
Yeah, that is better.
Like you're complaining about depth in a way, but I agree. Campbell was supposed to be the big 3. He's supposed to be a star.
Yeah,
he's not.
He's just not. And I think that they just didn't have a plan. Like if you're not Roman Anthony, if you're not Garrett Crochet, if you're not a breakout, this is where I play guy, the Sox kind of look at you and go, geez, man, we don't really know what to do with you.
But don't you prefer that? Like if they had gotten rid of Yoshida and they traded Duran and they were like, hey, Christian Campbell is going to play 140 games in left field this year. Wouldn't you be like, is this really the plan we're going to rock with right now? That's our plan? We're just going to roll the dice?
No, just rather they have like a plan. And the thing is with Christian Campbell, it wasn't that like they didn't have a plan B. It was like they didn't even really have a plan A. It was just like bring him up to the big leagues and put him at, I don't know, second. That was kind of it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, he's not really great at second and he's hitting the ball into the ground. Do you want to give him some time up here or do you want to just get rid of him and stick him down in Worcester? Yeah, stick him down in Worcester for the rest of the year. What about next year? Second base again? You guys still need a second baseman, right? Or are you going with Marcelo or what are you doing? I don't know. Put him in the outfield. Oh, so you're getting rid of one of your outfielders so like he can be like at least next in line, like 5th or 6th outfielder? No, not even kind of. We just don't know. It's like there was just never anything implemented. It was like, we'll just try and see what happens. And for a guy that you extend, like you would expect that there's at least some
that is weird.
A.
Because it's not just us building him up with prospect rankings. They committed to him as well.
Yeah. They liked what they saw. And I don't know. It's
then he played a game at the major league level, and they were like, whoa, we take that back.
I will say, for all like the guff, the whatever, for all the shit that I give the Red Sox, when they see something in a guy like and they extend them and they give him money, it's very rarely. It very rarely ends up being that like the guy doesn't work out. Like I can't
internally,
you'd have to go back to like Pablo to think of like a really great example. Pablo or like, I guess like David Price.
He still did his job.
And then like Chris Sale, it's like an injury bug. Like that doesn't really count. It's like if they like what they see and they give you money, it doesn't really blow up, right? Am I forgetting somebody?
Rusney Castillo.
Sure. Not Lucas Giolito, the one, but Corey Kluber.
That one was tough. I thought you were talking more the internals. They have a much higher hit rate than the external.
Yeah, I also mean like significant money, which they don't really do externally much these days. So, you want to talk about it?
Let's.
It's time for Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it. Ken Rosenthal and Chandler Rome on Sunday reported, quote, the Astros had serious discussions about a three-way trade in which they would have sent Isaac Paredes to Boston and acquired utility man Brendan Donovan. Donovan ultimately went from the St. Louis Cardinals to the Astros' American League West rivals, the Seattle Mariners, and the Red Sox, too, were shut out. Not only did they fail to land Paredes in the three-team deal, but a parallel attempt to acquire Donovan also sputtered. People familiar with the conversation said, end quote. Did you were you shocked that these conversations got off the ground, that they got to where they got to?
I think the thing that's surprising to me is that the three-team trade aspect of Brendan Donovan to the Astros in this, we didn't hear anything about that. So that was interesting. The fact that it fell through isn't shocking. But I mean, this trio did make sense for a minute there. It seems like the price to pay for the Paredes Donovan type was very high this offseason, and Breslow didn't want to go there. And actually, I agree with him.
What was the reported return?
I didn't even we would have gotten Paredes. It wouldn't have said that what we gave up because we were dealing likely in prospects. But, earlier, there were things thrown around that it would, first it was Duran was floated, Bayo. Apparently Duran wasn't enough. They wanted Willier. That would have been insane, obviously. Obviously, Early and Tolley get thrown into these conversations. So, yeah, I mean, no matter what the combination would have been, sounds like they wanted Willier, ideally. It's just no thanks. We're gonna take our services either way elsewhere. We found a thick 5'7" man in Milwaukee that we've got our eyes on.
Sorry. I got a text there that stopped my heart for a second. I read it wrong, and I'm getting a Rosenthal notification. So sorry, I got yoinked right there really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I might be out of my mind here. I really label Willier, but I've been consistent about this. Willier's like an untouchable to me. I think Willier's upside and likelihood of his upside hitting is way too high to trade for basically anything. I think Willier could be like a core contributor in the next 2 years, 3 years of Red Sox baseball that really fucking matter.
I agree with you. I think with Willier, you're looking at a guy that is a back-to-back Gold Glover in right field at Fenway. So that even if he's hot, cold, whatever, he is providing elite defense at the most important position at Fenway Park. And then you're also talking about a guy that before he got hurt was on pace to be like a 40 home run hitter. That's a guy. It wouldn't be that shocking if he was a 35 plus 40 home run guy in a full healthy season. We still have yet to see that. But the power rate is there. So yeah, I mean, I actually completely agree with you. I think, the ceiling of Willier, which isn't that far away, is, Gold Glove. You're going to get that. You just put that. We already got that. We can put 3 there as long as he plays, 120 games. He's got the Gold Glove. And then you got to hit, 30 home runs plus, very realistic, probably 60 plus extra base hits, locked and loaded.
What would you have been willing to part with for Paredes?
Good question. I think the piece that I was more likely to give up of the 4 rumored targets, oddly, would be Bayo, but I would need more than that for Bayo. It would have to be Paredes and prospects for Bayo which again is kind of a weird territory. I never thought the trade was super clean. I wouldn't have done a Duran for Paredes swap. It sounds like they wouldn't do it either. But yeah, I kind of liked what ended up happening with Durbin, like that trade package. Like if you can do some sort of Kyle Harrison centered package with a David Hamilton type in there. That's why I'm not upset with Caleb Durbin, because it feels like we gave up the right package for what we needed. The level of quality we didn't get back. We didn't get the Brendan Donovan, the Paredes level, but going above that threshold would have been, I feel like, not wise for the long term.
I agree with you, and I also think there's a reason that wasn't enough to get it done. That's probably where I would have stopped as well. Chris Cotillo reported on Tuesday.
He's kind of Cotillo for this one.
Cotillo.
He's translated in this one.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that.
Oh, transcribed. Yeah. Never mind. Nah, he's just Cotillo.
No, I would say that counts. That counts as translating.
But okay, English though. He's translating English to English.
He spoke to one Mr. Patrick Sandoval, and he said, quote, "I haven't pitched in a year and a half. I don't have a right to declare a spot in this rotation. The guys we brought in this offseason and the room, we have the pitchers. It's whoa, Christopher. Let me try that sentence again. Quote, the guys we brought in this offseason and the room we have with pitchers, it's amazing. I think it's going to bring a lot of healthy competition and bring out the best in everyone." End quote. And on the trade rumors, he said, quote, "I hear them, but I can't control it. I chose to sign here for a reason, because I wanted to pitch for this team and be part of this team and help bring a championship back to Boston. I can't control it, so there's nothing I can really do." End quote. Let me say, I've heard Patrick Sandoval's name thrown around, but I've heard everyone's name thrown around. So I guess if I could say something to Patrick Sandoval, it would be, dude, I don't know how you've heard it. Or I don't know how you've heard only your name thrown around.
Well, I don't think he said only, but I will say the funny thing about this is the one that I hear talk about a Patrick Sandoval trade the most is Cotillo, because his take all offseason was Patrick Sandoval costs about $10 million. So he was always thinking that the Red Sox weren't going to hit a certain apron, and if they were going to get a notable piece, they might have to do something like trade Sandoval, trade Duran, and then save like $17 million, and then you can go do something. So the idea with Sandoval was always just kind of like if they just wanted to be cheap, he's expensive, so you could flip him and get under a certain threshold. So at this point, though, you've made your moves. When you went with Durbin, you didn't get anything expensive, so you might as well just take the lottery ticket on the depth.
I feel like it's a necessity that the Red Sox have to have this kind of guy too. They have to have a guy in his second year of a 2-year rehab deal who is coming off a year where he doesn't pitch and is hoping to make up for it and like pitch twice as good. Yeah. I like that feeling of debt. I really do, because I believe in it. I believe in a guy who spent his first year rehabbing and is like, man, they paid me a lot of money, and like now I gotta earn it. I gotta come back here and do it. Like I really do believe in that. I think it dials up to a second gear.
It never works though. Giolito worked.
Giolito did. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Patrick Sandoval does. I don't really have any expectations for Patrick Sandoval. I think he's in a beautiful position. He could just never pitch, and we would all go, whatever. Or he could, surprise us, and we would all be stoked about it. So if he comes out and stinks, it's like it doesn't matter, because there's so much depth that we can kind of move on from him. So he's in like the most ideal position there is, I think.
Mm-hmm. And he also has real potential. Has been a good big league pitcher in the past, and is still in his prime. So he really could be a surprise force for the Red Sox. I wonder if they use him in relief, just because that's something that Breslow was already hinted at. Not for him specifically, but using surplus starting pitching in relief. And he's a guy that, I think would be under early and Tully. Early and Tully, you're not going to put in relief. You're just going to have them, if they don't make the top 5, they're going to be in Worcester. So I think he has to be one of the guys they're talking about when you say that. In which case he could just be in the Garrett Whitlock role from a couple of years ago, who was coming back from Tommy John surgery.
Is that what,
and he's a lefty.
Is that what Sandoval's even coming back from? I don't even remember at this point. Was it TJ?
Yeah, I mean now, yes, but now
as you said it, I was like, "Is that?"
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, internal brace / Tommy John. So yes.
Okay, so the fake Tommy John.
I think he got the real one. I don't know. They use that. Sometimes they use that as a synonym. It's very confusing. It required he got an elbow surgery in June 2024, and he still hasn't pitched yet. So,
yeah, that I think that qualifies it as TJ. If it's been long enough,
yeah.
If you've just been out, it's that's basically fucking TJ.
I don't care who it's named after.
Yeah, if you had surgery on your fucking elbow and you haven't pitched in a year and a half, it's Tommy John.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next thing, dude, that I wanted to speak to you about. This is you're in big trouble, young man. It did sound like I was about to reprimand. I wanted to speak to you about was Craig Breslow on Wednesday today in his media availability. He wanted to explore the idea of relief options. He said, quote, "We continue to explore opportunities." He's talking about lefties in the bullpen. Give me a 1 to 10 on, is that going to fucking happen?
I'm right at a 5 right now. And here's why. I'll explain that. 1, Patrick Sandoval, as we just talked about, logical internal option. There are 2, in my mind, surplus left-handed relievers still available. One being Justin Wilson, who has contemplated retirement, but is still a free agent and hasn't officially retired. He is an option. Obviously, bring him back. He was great last year at a 3.35 ERA. Did everything he was supposed to. And then the other one is Danny, nicknamed Frenchie. Colombe? I don't know.
Colombe?
He had 2.3 ERA and 43 innings last year. He was really, really good. He's got a career 3.35 ERA. That's a guy that he's just one of those relievers that'll just be around till he's 45 and just be good every year. He'll keep getting 1-year deals for the rest of his life. Chris Martin-esque. And he would move the needle for me. Justin Wilson would move the needle for me, but he's a tier below. And then I'm kind of okay with Patrick Sandoval. He should be, in my mind, a multi-inning left-handed reliever. But I would still like a Justin Wilson, Colombe option. Frenchie. I'm just going to call him Frenchie from now on.
Frenchie works.
Yeah. He sounds like a dog, but it's because he is a dog in the bullpen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there we go. Frenchie. Yeah, make the shirts now. Make the shirts. Make the design. And then, start the design. We'll talk it over. I think I'm just numb to any kind of Red Sox plan to blank move this offseason. Just totally numb to it. No matter what it is, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of buzz for me to buy anything because those moves just don't happen. It's the moves that happen are moves that just pop up, and you're just at the gym and it's like, hey, they got IKF. You're like, what? So
Yes, but also we're talking about left-handed reliever. This isn't like they're going for Kyle Schwarber.
Right, but it was like, oh, they need a power bat in the middle of the lineup. But it was like, it's like, what if it's vague? Even if it's vague, it's not like a name. It's just like, here's a position, here's an area of need.
Fair. Yeah, I just think this one's so attainable if they want it to be attainable. But this is like how every single year, for like 3 years, I was like, go get Matt Moore, and then they just don't. They wait till spring training and somebody else signs him for like $5 million, and then he's good. And yeah, Seth Lugo, which is like wide open. Michael Walker. There's guys that are just like, man, these guys shouldn't still be free agents. They're just very good pitchers, and then they sign and they do exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, it's a big time. I'll believe it when I see it kind of situation right now. Are we in Empty Our Brain already?
We sure are, and not already recording for over 50 minutes.
Yeah, but like we haven't been doing the show for over 50 minutes.
I don't know.
What else have you been up to today?
Meetings.
Nothing else you want to talk about? Nothing else you want to tell me about, dude? I feel like we haven't talked. Like, tell me what's going on. Like, tell me how you're feeling.
Nah, I'm fine.
Dude, come on. Talk to me, man. I'm here.
I got nothing for you.
Is it something I did?
No, no.
All right. I don't know. I want you to know, like, we can always talk.
I appreciate that.
All right. What?
Nothing.
It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. Empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. What do you got? It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott.
Dude. Bunch of thoughts I got to empty out of my brain, man. I got a bunch of things that I got to tell you about, a bunch of things that I want to talk about. First, Roman Anthony may or may not be joining Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. Maybe. We're not sure. Since what's-his-face went down, they're thinking about maybe Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll went down. Might be Roman Anthony. That would be cool. A couple others, Stephen Kwan, Riley Green, James Wood. Just do Roman.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if he was like he has a chance to be like, if that was like his way to like break out into superstardom, like that would be really, really fun.
If he's like if he just goes off and he's the face of Team USA.
Yeah.
And do me a favor. Just picture Roman Anthony in a Team USA jersey. Come on.
I'll tell you what. I don't care who was named captain. We are making Captain America Roman Anthony World Baseball Classic shirts. We might do it anyway.
We might just do it. Yeah, we might just start now doing it now.
Dude,
fly off the shelves, my friend. Fly.
With the tweet somewhere about how like he's a potential injury replacement. Like if he doesn't play, and we do the Team USA jerseys, and we just have like a quote somewhere on the jersey that was like he was a candidate to replace Corbin Carroll, but it ended up going to Stephen Kwan. Those jerseys would go crazy.
That's what Team USA should think about. Is like, are people going to be buying Stephen Kwan jerseys?
Of course.
Are they? I say no.
Everybody loves contact and defense. You know that.
Wyatt Langford.
Kyle Stowers would be a star right now if he wasn't on the Marlins. He had a great season last year.
I just think
same with Soderstrom.
19 Anthony on the back. I just think that jersey goes hard. I think it should be a marketing decision. They should get Roman. That's all.
I agree. I'm all for that.
A couple other things here. The whole MLB TV thing right now that you have to get ESPN to, bless you, dude. You
Thanks,
have to
man.
get ESPN to then pay for MLB TV. It's behind a double paywall right now. Let me say this. Let me not mince words here. Fuck you. That's fucked up. Yeah, dude. Fuck you, Scott, in particular, man. Fuck you. It's just insane. Anybody who had a hand in the decision to do that, I hope you don't make it home tonight. What a horrific thing to do to the people of this great nation. I feel like a patriot when I see things like this. I'm like, the American people deserve better than this. I want to like put on a powdered wig and stand on a desk till a judge like banging a gavel and is like, order, and I'm screaming about ESPN Plus being billed annually at the same rate that it is monthly. So yeah, I'm upset about that. Garrett Crochet's the opening day starter. Water still wet. You already mentioned that. Man, I'm just upset about everything here in my closing thoughts. I'll end on a positive one, but I have two more upset things before we get there. Jerseys are $50. Fuck yourself too, Fanatics. Get that company out of here. $50 for a jersey is insane. And this was going to be my last one, but now I feel like I need to end on a positive one. Severance. Everybody's favorite show. My favorite show. Everybody's favorite show. I don't know if you saw this, Scott. They made an announcement about season 3 that they are going to start filming sometime this summer, maybe. Which season 2 aired a year ago. It's been long enough. Because remember, between 1 and 2 was 3 years, and then Ben Stiller was like, "Sorry about the delay. It won't be 3 years again." And now it's been a year, and they're just starting to talk about filming. Not good. Not good. I just don't think it takes that long. So that ain't great. And then positive one, dude, I forget every time it comes around, I forget how much I love the Olympics. I love the Olympics. Because of the time zone, it's like I wake up earlier than usual to put on the Olympics. And the Olympics stay on in my house for about 12 hours. It's about 5 a.m. to about 5 p.m. They are just, I want to see everything. I got Gold Zone going. I got it on my phone if something big is going on. I love the Olympics. I get emotional about the Olympics. I fucking love the Olympics. It's been a good one this year. I love when things are going smooth. Because, like, I remember a couple of times in my lifetime, the Winter Olympics specifically, it's always like the Olympic Village doesn't have toilets this year. And it's like, oh, they what? So yeah, they're pooping on the ground. The rivers, the streets are running rivers of diarrhea. And obviously, we're talking about Sochi, and that is not the case. Things are going smooth. I love the Olympics. That was kind of my whole closing thought. What do you got?
I feel like there hasn't been like a guy like a Shaun White, Michael Phelps lately for me to like be drawn to. But so I've kind of just missed it. But
you got the quad guide now.
Who's that?
Google quad god.
It's gonna be Saquon Barkley. Better be.
No.
Okay. That's my to-do list. Get right on that. I got one. I can't stop calling Caleb Durbin Corbin Durbin, and I don't know why. I've Googled him like 4 times that way, and I knew very much who he was before this trade, so don't know what that is, but I continue to call him Corbin Durbin. I think we should just stick with it. I did want to note he has one of the most interesting Savant pages I've maybe ever seen. In terms of average exit velo, 4th percentile, barrel, 12th percentile, hard hit, 4th percentile, sweet spot, 6th percentile, bat speed, 6th percentile. That's all so bad. So bad. But
Mm-hmm.
squared up percentage, 95 percentile. Chase percentage, 72. Whiff percentage, 96. K rate, 98.
He's got the fundamentals down.
I think, though, it's almost the fact that he has a 95% squared up rate and an average exit velo of 4th percentile tells me, like, this is his A swing, and it's just not going anywhere.
Yeah, it feels like the fundamentals are there, the athleticism and the strength and all that. Maybe not so much.
Yeah. I mean, he's 25. He still can definitely, he said I believe he is confident he's going to add some power this year. And, we'll see if he's maybe comes back a little stronger. I definitely think, right-handed bat at Fenway might get some, if he can get some lift, that should help. He is a good pull hitter. So he's actually a strong pull hit. Like a lot of his damage has come to the pull side. Singles are all over the place, but like his outfield damage has been heavily pull side, so that's helpful. Anyway, that's Corbin Durbin for you.
And that's Corbin Feldman.
Yep, Dalton Furbush.
It's Corey Feldman, everybody. Stand by me. Am I right?
Hey, you should, when you do the outro, you should talk about the YouTube.
Subscribe on the YouTube. It would really help us out. You can find our links in our bio. Follow us on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 46. Just like the amount of layers that Tristan Cassis is wearing on his face to hide his identity this spring. I fucking love that man. That weird man. Follow us on the YouTube, subscribe on the YouTube, and we'll send you $1 or something. I'll send you 3. We love you. I love you specifically. Me. Scott, not so much. But me, I'm a big fan of you. Keep it up. That would mean a lot to me. We will talk to you guys next week after this thrilling week at the Fort. For Scott Neville and Joey Copponi, go Sox, kid.